Hello and welcome back. We are going to go into our first Princess Blankets game here. So I'm going to go into view my worlds. I'm going to go to lesson 1, which is game 3. If you remember, the children have to go in a different order of the regular sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games because they've had to create a key in lesson 1. So this is all in the teacher pack, which is available to you within the files and folders, and this goes through everything you need to know, including the blackboards, what's written on the blackboards. So if you do get an error, you can go and copy and paste what's on the signs so you don't lose your text in case your world is editable. And then also this is a guide for teachers for every single lesson plan. So let's go into lesson 1. So as we enter lesson 1, we will enter a lobby, and every time you're in here, you will be presented with this lobby, and in each game you get a different sort of loot box, if you like. And in each loot box, depending on which game you're at, you will get a clue, such as this, pointing you in the right direction. You'll also notice that while I've been in here for this one, excuse me, we have these items that have been handed to us. I'll show you that in a second. As we look around, there are different things for the students to read and for teachers to guide the students, because sometimes it's magic and sometimes you simply got to explore. So depending on their job, each child in their team must stick to their job, especially when this is all children in the world at once. So they will also find buttons around the worlds, and so this will take us to the viewing platform that the children are able to go and see what is actually happening around this world. Now, depending on your machine, you will have to change your video settings so that you're able to see the far reaches of the island itself. So as you come back into the lobby, you'll also notice that the children are also scored. So the scoring system is in the teacher pack, and as they get these items, they are then handed them in their bar at the bottom. One thing that the children generally don't do, and you will have to sort of guide them, is follow this arrow that is available. Things are in the air. There are words that they will find in the game, guiding them in quite blatant ways, such as this. So as we look around this main lobby area, this is something that came from Litcraft itself, and they will see that there is a princess here, and when they go to speak to the princess, this is the main crux, the overreaching arc of the entire game. So when we go and speak to the princess, she's asking for music because this is based on the book. So she wants this music to warm her heart and for her to fall in love. And so there are options here, and they need a jukebox. So they don't have a jukebox, and they have to place the jukebox here. Once they've placed the jukebox down in front of this observer, then they will go to the final episode of the game itself. But they have to find the jukebox. The jukebox isn't in the early levels, but there are clues all the way along as to how you can create music. It's also quite dark at the start of the game, so there are clues here that allow it to be turned into day, because there are clues within the game that tell them when they need light. There are things that they will need light for, especially things like bees, because they don't come out at night. And if you don't have any music, you're sent back to the lobby. Children aren't guided to cheat as such, because if they go into the wrong area, they get sent into like a little cell, and there's only one way out of here, and that is to hit the buttons again and come back into the lobby. So let's go and take a look in the boxes to start with. There are side quests for them to choose and use some of these items that are in the chests. Each box will have a camera and a portfolio for the students to demonstrate what it is they're learning and how they're collaborating. And there is also a task book for each team as well. So when they open up this book, they will have a portfolio that they are able to go and export later on for their portfolio, but also there is a quest for them to be guided on in this book. So this one here is you've got to use 1% of 2,500 blocks to cover the princess. So the first game is pretty simple in that they have to play the game according to the chapters in the book. In each quest too, there is a side task that they can go and create and demonstrate their Minecraft knowledge. You can read this in the teacher guide as well. So let's go into the game itself. So here they'll have to go and find out how they're going to change the time as well. They're also going to have to work out what's in here. So they have a shovel. So it means one thing, they're going to have to dig. The guide is here. They have to cover her and clone the princess. So they have to go and create these items and make an exact clone and cover her in 25 blocks, which is 1% of 2,500. Side quests are things like this. So the covering of a princess and cloning her is pretty simple, but there are parrots. So if I point over here and point over here, there are parrots for them to tame. And there's one way they do this is by collecting seeds. And so when they clear out some of the grass, they will get seeds and they're able to go and tame the parrot. This isn't obvious to all children when they do this, but that's how they tame the parrot. And the parrot will leave the ground and jump onto the shoulder of the player. So they need the shovel, and when they use this shovel, X marks the spot. So as they dig through here, there are deny blocks in here that stop them from building and digging. And so here are all the items in order to create a princess. Let's just go and create the princess so they're able to go and clone her and then use all the materials, which is basically dirt, in order for her to be covered. Okay, so if we just take a look for a second at my view, I should be able to go and change my view for a second, but I know that the parrot has left the ground here and gone onto my shoulder. Just making sure that the parrot has gone onto my shoulder. It's going to F5, and here the parrot is tamed, and they're able to take a photograph now and put this into their portfolio is as proof of them working together and taming a parrot. So I can see there's at least one parrot per student. So once they've covered that and they've got that done, they take screenshots and then they go and put that into their portfolios and then export it as a PDF and put that into their learning journal. Right, that's it so far for game 3. We will go into the other games later on. Thank you for watching.